the system.
Tell us,
If I want
Skip.
to do something, let me be the
Oh,
entrepreneur. What I
OG
believe
about to get
happened
in
in the
his ass, bro.
1960s is that we started looking.
I seen like the first beginning snippet of this, and I was like, "Oh yeah, hold on!" I immediately paused it. I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to react to this, bro, because it already started off kind of really grimy." I'm gonna say this immediately. You can tell who's the FBA and who's not.
Coming from Africa, I came here to better my life, and I feel personally we need to stop using the word racism when we don't get something or when something don't go our way, or just
Let me
keep
jump
trying.
in real quick.
Already, we need to stop using the word racism.
Forward if you agree. Slavery affected my family.
Slavery affected my family.
Yeah, I mean, that's just evident in my last name, King. I mean, that's and of the slave owner that put that name on my family all those years ago, and I'm still wearing it.
What my great grandparents were
Oh,
teaching
you know
my
that nigga
grandparents,
foundational,
who
bro.
taught my mother, who taught me, came from what
You
they
know
learned
it.
through slavery. So there's a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity, a fear of society, a fear of law enforcement. So slavery has made a major impact where the low self-esteem is consistently reoccurring. We come from Africa.
Yo, this nigga sound like Black and Power, bro. For folks who don't know, people who are watching Black and Power is online guy on Twitter Spaces that we be talking to is an older dude. He sound just like him, bro. That shit hilarious.
We're
He probably is.
slave.
Incredible
That's
culture,
not
and we have
true.
so many things to be proud of.
That's
And I
not
always
true.
reframe the narrative myself, and I speak of my ancestors that were enslaved
Yeah,
as
that that's
doctors and
that's definitely
healers,
not true.
recyclers.
Maybe that's his case, but most Black Americans, we could trace our paperwork back up until at least the early 1800s. Like the farthest I can trace my paperwork back has been the mid 1700s. I have my grandfather on my dad's side. I didn't know a lot about him, but the information I had about him, him saying he's from Alabama, he said he's from Mobile, but he's actually from Choctaw, Alabama. I found paperwork going all the way back to late 1700s.
Which I
So
took a picture from the Choctaw Indian reservation.
Slavery didn't affect my family, but we did suffer a different type of slavery back home. Like we went through colonization. Like I am Bamileke. There was a massacre of Bamileke. You guys can like look it up. They killed like more than 300,000 of my people because we didn't wanna. I see.
The Bamiki War is the name of the independence struggle between Bamiki, Cameroon's nationalist movement, and French. The movement was spearheaded by the Cameroon People Union (UPC). Even after independence, the rebellion continued shaping contemporary politics. The war began with riots. This not slavery. This a war.
yeah, it's just a war, it's just colonization and whatnot. Um, through for what we call through history and stuff like that, it's all been a business deal between Africans on the continent, their ancestors, and then the European power structure. By other ethnic groups, they was probably working with the Europeans to pretty much colonize those Bamaliki people and whatnot. And then the whole country ended up being colonized anyway. So
Yeah, we talking about chattel slavery. Like chattel slavery is completely different. That means you getting
mhm.
enslaved, your kids getting enslaved, your kids getting enslaved. For no reason, just because they related to you. That's chattel slavery, and that's, from what I know, a fairly new phenomenon as far as like the Western countries. That wasn't practiced in Africa. Shit, the people that got enslaved in Africa was criminals and rapists and stuff like that. They wasn't slaving their kids because of the crimes committed by their parents. So,
You guys ancestor like been through.
I wouldn't want to
so
minimize
he's
that
lying.
pain, though.
So yeah, we got to establish coming out the gate. He's a liar. He's lying right now because they fact checked him in real time, which I'm glad they did. And it turned out that it wasn't slavery; it was a fucking war. You know what I'm saying? They was fighting for their
Yeah, essentially.
independence, which is if if you can just brag about that, yeah, we was fighting for our independence, war to our country, blah blah blah. You can just say that. You ain't even got to say slavery. You intentionally saying slavery is like you trying to one up, with the the oppression Olympics. You trying to one up Black Americans for what? Why would you want to do that? But,
What you just said hurt me. That 300,000 people were killed because they would not conform to the colonization of the French people. So that is
You
just as
see, we have
painful
so much
and hurtful.
empathy, even though the Bamileke guy was being disingenuous and dishonest out the gate.
Even now, but it's nothing compared to what your ancestral history, has gone through. I'm somehow happy that you guys have
So
forgiven it, even
how
though you
it
haven't
okay,
forgotten it.
so all right. I at the same time they were getting colonized by those Dutch people, they was fighting each other maybe because some type of ethnic conflict. But now South Africans specifically are more on code than the rest of the Africans. So they can't get them Dutch people out there. I'm like, this is my fucking country. Like, so y'all can't go in that place and fucking integrate that Dutch city.
and she just said, I mean, she's in South Africa, and she said it's places in South Africa where Black people can't go. What? How is that even possible? Where like that need to be your first priority of fixing that, and I guarantee you, she's probably over here in America. Meanwhile, there's places in her home country where majority, the vast majority, 90% can't go under white supremacy rule. Like it's unbelievable.
Racism is a very big issue that talking about it, I'm really trying to be careful to not like say anything that will be
She
insensitive.
already
If
knows she about to
opportunity
say
is
some
right
fuck shit.
here, they will feel like they'll pick an Asian person, or they believe, oh, African Americans will not dress appropriate. So they will pick another person. They will always like pick
But they
people
do it
that
to
are
the
not
Africans too.
black over people that are black.
And I don't say that to come from a defeatist or a victim mindset, but I think if we just have an honest conversation about
It's not a
history and
victim
what we've
mindset,
gone
it's the
through,
truth.
we've been here.
It's not a victim mindset, it's the truth. Like they had generations to build that wealth off the backs of Black American ancestors or whatnot, um,
That
and they
victim
reap the
mindset,
benefits.
that whole phrase is crazy because like it seemed like Black people are the only ones that are not able to claim victimhood. Like every group, if a chick get raped, ain't nobody gonna be like, oh man, you're just playing the victim. You know what I'm saying? It seems like Black people are the only ones who are not able to be victims.
And then the African lady, they give those resources to Africans as well because they assimilate into white supremacy.
I'm saying, hey,
Hi.
Hey, hey, what's going on?
To
I'm
look
trying to
past
keep it
that.
going a little bit without
Like
stopping.
me coming from
Okay.
Africa, I
But
get
but it
to
seems like
bet
every
my
fucking
life,
word
my
they
family.
say, like it's like what? Like a red flag.
I'm the only one here. And since I have been here, there's a lot of things that happened to me. There's a lot of good things that happened to me. Us African American, we need to like look past like racism and like just focus on our own goal. Like, what do we want to achieve? We need to stop using the word racism when we don't get something or when something don't go our way.
Of the system.
Tell
You know,
us,
if I want to
Tim.
do something, let me be the
Oh,
entrepreneur. What I
OG
believe
about to get
happened
in
in the
his ass, bro.
1960s is that we started looking for equal with other people. And what we stopped doing, and I heard you talk about Tulsa, we stopped using the Black owned businesses. Now, because you guys got to understand, the Fair Housing Act in 1968, I'm 5 years old. That's when we could move off the east side of LA and move into other subcultures.
I could not said it better myself. Racism plays a big part, but we don't have to play into it. Exactly.
Hmm.
He just acknowledged himself. Yeah, you know, yeah, it's somewhat our fault a little bit. We wanted to run the IHOP instead of supporting our mom and pops. All right, so he's taking accountability. That's the first step to correcting the situation. Taking some accountability. You know what I'm saying? Even though white supremacy is the root problem, we have made some bad decisions along the way. So what we need to start doing is we need to start supporting each other. I like Skip.
Yeah, I'll skip.
I'm waiting patiently. The thing is, even though I want to disagree with you, I'm like, what is wrong with these people? You guys have food, you have EBT, all this thing, and you're here shouting about somebody is racist. You just leave that person and move on. I need to actually know why these people are pained. And if we look at the history, what they've done to them, like if you actually sit down, watch some documentaries, how they were treated, I don't think if I'm actually born, I will forgive people. I don't care.
We have police brutality back home too.
True.
We have, like, if you go to Cameroon and then you see how the
Oh, here
police,
we go. The pity Olympics. We have it too. We have it too. Don't just focus on you thinking about we got it too. Nigga, ain't nobody even talking about you. You're over here. You're in America. So we're talking about what's going on in America. But we have it too. Dude. That's what
And
I'm talking about, man.
the crazy part is
The chick cool, but
they
this
will
nigga-
make excuses saying, okay, the white supremacist structure, okay, modernly, we'll go over, let's say that where the guys from Cameroon, and they'll replace the politicians with them. But you guys willingly accept that. If y'all wanted to, y'all can have the EBT and the basic necessities and shit like that over there. Cause that's all y'all. Y'all all look like each other. So what is y'all excuse? She's saying she barely had water and shit. That's y'all fault. In modern times, shit, the white man didn't fucking go over to where she come from and take all the water. There's fucking water there.
They over here complaining. That's what they doing. They over here
So
complaining. Fucked up.
so we do get oppressed too. And
I agree.
so when
We
I'm
get-
saying,
we get
like, we
oppressed
need
too.
to, like, look past
we
that,
get
I'm not
oppressed by
saying forget what
tribalism.
happened to you guys or me. At the end of the day, we cannot just sit and just
But
bring.
midnight, we get oppressed too. Why you all complaining, you damn Akata? I wonder where he's from.
He from Cameroon.
Okay, Cameroon.
Yeah,
Come on,
he
dude.
get impressed by
Be-
tribalism. Like just cause yeah, y'all literally got the same skin for complexion. Y'all complain about like fucking tribalism and shit like that.
Just leaving my country. I love my country, but
Then
right
leave,
now,
go back.
my country is not the best choice for me. There's a
It
lot of
is the best
genocide
choice.
going
It
on in
is the best
Cameroon right
choice.
now. So many
It is
He
the
better
best choice.
but for right
Shit,
now,
shit.
this country is the best choice for me.
If my
Duh,
co-
Captain Obvious.
if my country's on fire, I'm still gonna stay and fight. I'm not gonna be a coward.
But this country
Like,
is the best one for me temporarily right now at this moment. No, nigga, duh, nigga, we know. We know the country, but you're supposed to stay and fight in your country.
If I was still in my country, the opportunity that I have here, I would not have those
If was a
opportunities.
fifth,
Hip hop
we'll all be drunk.
reinforces stereotypes about the black community.
In South Africa, we have our own version of hip hop. So we call it Kwaito. So they would rap in our own language and call it Vernac. So back home, it kind of did reinforce you under one group.
Oh,
And growing
she
up,
don't want
also
to be
looking
linked up
at
with the black
American
Americans.
entertainment, looking at the hip hop that's
hey, that's
She
fine.
think that
oh well, you rapping about
she
drugs,
think
you're
people gonna think they're American rappers associated. That's the negative stereotype she's talking about.
Because the record executive who is not of our lineage or culture is the one who's putting that music out into the masses, whether it's through social media or through the radio stations. And I mean, the majority of people have a hive mind state to program to know, oh yeah, this is hot. Like this is hot. No matter if it's independent artists or if it's mainstream artists.
I don't agree with everything Charleston White be saying, bruh. But this right here, I agree with
He
this.
said, hey, you like Jews? I heard you don't like Jews. I said, I don't like
I
nobody.
don't like no.
You, niggas, Asians, blacks, whites, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, dogs, horses, fish, roaches, worms, butterflies, ants. Nigga, I don't like
I don't
nothing.
like none of y'all
Nigga.
niggas.
He said, hey, do you like Jews? I heard you don't.
Oh, that shit had me acting up.
about this. Of course, it's going to happen. Of course, you're going to go to jail. But getting older, you see the culture as well of hip hop. I had to understand that there's a culture within that.
I was alive when hip hop started, and it was during a time where people rapped about what they saw, what they wanted in life. And then it became where people rapped about what they had been through, the things that they do on
Oh,
a
this a
daily
well
basis.
thought out ass
And
nigga
it's
right
not.
here, dog. We need to do a reaction to their music. We need to play that boogie. we need to play the that Burner Boy.
Most African Americans are carrying guns around and they just shoot randomly or they just grab your ass, something like that. That's the way the music
What?
portray them. And music is a very
Wait a
important element
minute.
in our society.
That's your opinion.
You said the music makes you want somebody want to sexually assault you.
That's her opinion. Like there's now a day and age where we have social media and you can talk to pretty much anybody across the world. So if from listening to music or watching media, if that's your opinion on how Black Americans are, like you're a damn fool. Because we don't think all Africans are in mud huts and shit and eat fucking possums and monkey brains and shit. Obviously, we deal with um we deal with people up until now at a case by case basis, an individual basis.
Yo, this what she want to hear. This what she want to hear right here. She want to hear this. He's stepping on the roach.
Oh,
Look at
no.
him. He's stepping on the roach. He's stepping on the roach. Stepping on the roach. Nah, player. Nah. That's what she want to listen to. Let's get back to it.
I don't know if we really can. I'm trying to be careful with my words, but I do think there needs to be a degree of separatism. Like Black people, we really need to have our own to fully take part in that.
But you don't have to physically separate. Just support the Black-owned businesses and send your kids to Black schools. Like I can live next to a white person, but I support only Black people. Why we can't just do that?
And that's why I could give respect to a lot of the groups. I mean, the Africans for like they literally support their own groups, but they live with white people and shit like that.
It doesn't matter who I live next to. Not these days when you got the internet and I can connect with people like you and connect with other Black Americans and we can set up our own logistics and economics amongst each other. Easy. Like we can do that now. Easy.
And
You know what
then
I'm saying?
there's a caveat to that as well. So a lot of companies or a lot of things that we get ourselves involved in, there has to be someone that's a non-Black American. I mean, we look at the California reparations here. We got Caribbeans over there. We got a whole Japanese person over there, and it's just insanity. Like we have to be so inclusive, but for every other group, it's Caribbeans only, it's Africans only, it's Asians only, it's Irish only. But when it comes to Black America, it has to be Black and brown. It has to be underserved community. It has to be POC. It has to be minority. But it can't specifically be foundational Black American, Native Black American, Black American.
And that's why I feel like you said, you can interpret the American dream in a different way, whatever industry or whatever it is that you're focusing on, because there is a level of opportunity there. There is some way that you can be successful. You know, talking about Trevor Noah, who took over the Daily Show, it wouldn't have been possible for him coming in as he got his American dream.
My mom, she's dying to come here. Like, she's willing to do anything just for her to be in America. So for me, when I look at those things, I'm like, yeah, American for everybody, Like, yeah, we might not have breakfast on the 4th of July. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that. The police come and arrest me because I look like a drug dealer. Like they arrested me.
What? The stereotype.
Then when I was in high school, my senior year, my father went to jail over a car accident. And I was left alone at 17 years old. I was grateful. One of my teachers took me in and like raised me. I try to stay away from the police as much as possible.
Wait a minute, hold on.
First of all, they're human beings. And I think that just because you put a badge on doesn't.
Okay. The father got arrested over a car accident. So what, it was a DUI situation? And then I don't know if it was, but that type of situation to the point where he had to be raised.
I've seen law enforcement here on social media and seeing how they treat people of color, from from like hitting
Well,
them.
that
I mean,
people of
George
color
Floyd,
were
rest in peace. But just seeing that from my experience being here, I was scared.
News. Yes, I agree. I think they are very obsessed with race. Even when you do like a easy application, like it doesn't matter what application you do, they want to know your race. They want to know why they don't have a category for Africans. You know,
That's why I'm checking out every time.
yeah, like they want to know everything.
We working on. We are working on it. And to say we're obsessed, what the hell that got to do with us being obsessed? Is the way you describe yourself, my nigga. What you talking about? We was oppressed too, and now this nigga talking about we complain too much. This nigga right here, the nigga in the blue is a fucking coon, bro. He's a fucking Afro-coon. I don't like that dude, bro. That's a clear tether. Like the chick. Okay, I can route the chick a little bit. She said that hey, she once thought like the guy in the blue, but then she had a realization with the BLM, right? It made her dig deeper and go study up on it a little bit more. Blah blah blah. This okay. So she grew. She learned from and grew. But this nigga over here, man, this fucking tether, nah, dog. He can go where the fuck he come from. My mother, she wants to come over here so bad. Now you trying to play pity? What you want us to help her out too? You want us to bring her over here as well? Your whole fucking family? I'm the only one over here. My family, they can't come. They can't come. They want to come so bad. And y'all niggas just keep on complaining. I don't understand. We go through it too. We got to do slavery. We had slavery and civil war because you know there's black people, you know, tribalism. But it was slavery too. Man, dog, want to hear that shit? That's it. That's the tellers we don't like right there. Midnight. I don't know.
The thing that pisses me off the most is that they see you and they'll be like, oh, you have an accent. Where are you from? Like, who cares where I'm from? Just sell me this thing and let me keep going.
Then when you tell them that you're African, like country.
Yeah, they're so obsessed with where you're from.
She like Wakanda.
Like, I this conversation with you guys. You guys are very knowledgeable, and I've learned a whole lot from each and every one of you.
All right. Yo, so that's it, everybody, for the video. I hope you enjoyed the content. I had my boy Night with me. First time I was doing this, y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that the tethers was in the right? You think we've been a little bit too harsh? I would love to hear y'all feedback. Midnight again, man, I appreciate you. We're gonna have to do it again sometime, dog.
All right, no problem.